channel. In this video, I uploaded ICC Board Examination 2019 Computer Application Solved Question Paper. This is very useful for the students, those who are preparing for the examination. First, I explained the question and answer clearly. And I have mentioned all the related questions, those comes for the exams. At last, the questions together I explained. If you practice like this one, you'll become more confident. And if you share this video to the student, those who are preparing for the exams, it's very helpful for them. And if you are not subscribed my channel, just please subscribe my channel. Then only you will get the videos, related videos. I will upload all the programs. Those will come for the examination. Then if you want to get the notification, you just press on the bell button. If you like this one, just please share to the students. Okay, thank you.
ICC Board Examination 2019 Solved Question Paper Computer Applications. This question paper is divided into two sections. First section carries 40 marks and second section carries 60 marks. Total 100 marks paper. Section A is a compulsory section. You should attempt all the questions. But in section B, you have options. We can select the best 4 sets from 6 questions which we can attempt well. This is a program section. Each program carries 15 marks. Total 60 marks. Section A has 3 questions in which each sub-questions carries 2 marks. Okay? Subscribe my channel to get the second part of this question paper. Press the bell button to get the notification. Okay? This question 1 includes 5 sub-questions. Each question carries 2 marks. Question A. Name any 2 basic principles of object-oriented programming. What's answer? Encapsulation and inheritance. Some other object-oriented programming principles are classes, objects, polymorphism, and abstraction. You can select any 2 points. This question is an important question. All the board examination paper usually they are asking this question. You should know about this one. Okay. Question B. Write one difference between unary and binary operators. What's answer? We have 3 operators in Java. What are they? Unary, binary and ternary. From the name itself, we can understand the meaning of these operators. Unary means 1 operand, binary means 2 operands, and ternary means 3 operands. And here they ask about the difference between unary and binary operators. Then what's the answer? Look at the answer. Work with unary operator means work with single operand. And example, plus plus and minus symbols. Plus plus means increment, pre-increment and post-increment are there. Minus means decrement. Pre-decrement and post-decrement also there. What's the meaning of binary operator? Works with 2 operands. What are the examples? Plus, minus, into, division symbol and mod operator. Present symbol is used to find the remainder. Okay. And these are the points of the unary operators and binary operator. Understood all of you? Question C. Name the keyword which first one indicates that a method has no return type. Second one makes the variable a class variable. What's the first question? Indicates that a method has no return type. Which keyword is used? Void. Answer void. That means if a method or a function has no return type, we are using void as a keyword, void as a return type. Okay. When you are writing a keyword, you should use the correct cases. Because Java is case sensitive. Here, void in small letter. You should write void in small letter. And second question, makes the variable as a class variable. If you want to give as a class variable, you have to give the keyword as static. Second answer is static. static. Here also you should care about that cases of the letters, because static is also a keyword. That means, what's the first answer? If a method has no return type, answer is void. And second one, static. Okay. Question D. Write the memory capacity or storage size of short and float data type in bytes. We know that there are 8 primitive data types in Java. I listed the table also there. We can see the answer from in that table. First one, short carries 2 bytes and float carries 4 bytes. You have to write the answer in bytes because in the question they asked to write in bytes. If you want to write in bits, how to write? 2 into 8, you will get 16 bits for short, and 4 into 8, you will get 32 bits for float. But here, you have to write using bytes. Okay, that means what's the answer? Short 2 bytes and float carries 4 bytes. And you have to study all the memory capacity of each data type. Okay. Question A. Identify the name and the following tokens. First one, public. Second one, within single inverted comma, A. Third one, double equal symbol. Fourth one, curly braces. What's the answer? First one, public is a keyword. That means access specifier. We have 3 access specifiers in Java. What are they? Public, private and protected. Here they are asking about public. And you can write the answer like this, keyword and within bracket access specifier. Okay. Second one, within single inverted comma A. It's a character literal. We know that it's a character literal. You should mention it's a character literal. If they are giving double inverted comma, you should write the answer as string literal. Okay. But here we have only single inverted comma and a single character. Then we can write the answer as character literal. And third one, double equal symbol. It's a relational operator. Okay. When they are giving only single equal symbol, you should write the answer as assignment operator. But here we have double equal symbol, because that you should write the answer as relational operator. And fourth one, curly braces. What is that? It's a punctuator or separator. You can separate using, or when you are writing a class, you should always using this open and close brackets. Okay. This question 2 also includes 5 sub-questions. Each one carries 2 marks. Okay. Question A. Differentiate between if-else-if and switch case statements. We know that both are decision-making statement. What's the difference? If-else-if. First point, it can evaluate a relational and logical expression, that is multiple condition. Usually we are taking this if-else-if statement for the relation to check the relational and logical expressions. And we can use the multiple condition, more than one condition we can use, or we can work with this if-else-if statement. And it can handle floating point integers and character testers also. That means all the primitive data types we can enter into this if-else-if condition. But in the case of switch case statement, what's the difference? It can only test for equality. That means we can use only constant values when you are working with the switch case statements. It cannot handle floating point testers. When you are using the case labels, it must be integers or characters. That's the main difference. When you're working with if-else-if, you can use floating points also. Okay, that's the main difference. Okay. Question B. Give the output of the following code. String P is equal to within double inverted comma 20, comma Q equal to double inverted comma 19. Int A is equal to integer dot parseInt of P. Int B is equal to integer dot value of Q. System dot out dot println A plus double inverted comma without space plus B. Okay, how can you find out the value of this answer or output of this answer? A, what's the value of P? 20 is a string, Q also is a string. And A is used to convert this P into number. Using that pass into function, we are converting this string value to number. 20, when you are storing this 20 to A, it must be a number. And when you are using this value function, this Q is converted into number. Q is a string, but when you are using value function, it is used to convert into number. And B is also 19. A is equal to 20 and B is 19. When you are using this println statement, you will get the printed value. Okay. That means A 20 without space, 19 also be printed. And here plus is used to join two values, not for adding. Okay. So question C. What are the various types of errors in Java? We know that there are three types of errors in Java. What are they? First one, syntax error. Second one, runtime error. And third one is logical error. What's the meaning of syntax error? An error in the syntax of a coding entered by a programmer and which is caught by the compiler is known as syntax error. That means if you make mistakes when you are writing the program, if you miss semicolon, brackets, and by mistake if you are using wrong cases when you are writing the keywords, that also be considered as a syntax error. Okay, understood all of you? And what is the meaning of runtime error? An error which occurs at program runtime is known as runtime error. This type of error cannot be identified by the compiler. It only occurs at program execution time due to some invalid operation. That means when the array size is 7, if you want to print the 8th element, how can that be printed? It is also be considered as runtime error. And if you are asking about the zero division, it's not defined, that is also identified at the time of program execution. That is also considered as a runtime error. And what's the meaning of logical error? An error which occurs due to some incorrect logic used in a program and generates an incorrect output based on that is known as logical operators. Logical error. Okay, that means when you're writing the program, if you want to give the age limit is as greater than 18, but by mistake if you are giving less than 18, you will get a wrong output. That is not the mistake of compiler. That cannot be identified the compiler. That is a programmer mistake. If you make mistakes in logic, that is known as logical errors. I think you understood the meaning of these three types of errors. You should know about the examples also. And what are the three types? Syntax errors, runtime errors, and logical errors. Okay. Question D. What's the difference between the linear search and the binary search techniques? This question from the chapter array. Okay, what's the difference? Linear search and binary search. In the case of linear search, it can work with both sorted and unsorted arrays. But in the case of binary search, it works only with the sorted arrays. In the case of linear search, let it be sorted or unsorted. It doesn't matter. Okay. But in the case of binary search, should be sorted array. And in the case of linear search, second point, reads and compares each elements of the array one by one till a match is found. That means it will consider or it will check all the elements one by one. But in the case of binary search, works by dividing the array in two segments out of which only one needs to be searched. That means first we will find out first we will separate this array into two parts. And we will find out the mid element. We will compare this searching element with the mid element. Again, we will check out whether it is the less than of that middle element or greater than of that middle element. Like that we consider. Okay. state the data type and value of res after the following is executed. Char ch is equal to within single inverted comma 9. Res is equal to character dot isDigit within bracket ch. The question they are asking about the data type and value of res. Here they are using the function as isDigit. What's the meaning of isDigit function? It's a character function. I mentioned in my previous video about this function thoroughly. Okay, if you watch this one, you can understand the meaning of that one. If you did not know about that videos, you should subscribe this channel. You will get you will get the previous videos also. Okay, and what's the meaning of this isDigit function? It will check whether the given character is a number or not. If it is a number, it will return the value as true. If it is not a number, it will return the value as false. But here the value of ch is equal to 9. Because of that, the answer must be true. And the data type is, because of that, the data type is Boolean. Okay? Understood all of you? You should use the correct cases when you are writing Boolean and true. First data type and the value true. Okay? This question 3 carries 10 questions. Each one carries 2 marks. Okay? Question A. Write a Java expression for the following equation x square plus 2xy. What's the answer? We know that this equation we can write with the help of mathematical functions. Okay? This pipe symbol is used to find the absolute value. Then because of that, we will use ABS function to find the absolute value. Then first we will write math dot ABS within bracket to find x square. How can you write math dot POW within bracket x comma 2 plus 2xy. How can you write 2 into x into y? For the multiplication symbol we are using star. You should take care about that one because that is very very important. If you make any mistake in this one, you won't get the mark. That means take care about the cases of the letters. That means math class will start with a capital M and all the functions should be written in small letters. Okay, just take care about the cases of the letters. Okay, it's very easy question, but you should take care about the brackets and cases of the letters. Okay. Question B. Write the return data type of the following functions. First one, start with. Second one, random. We all know that the first one is a string function and the second one is a mathematical functions. Because of that, the first one, what will be the outcome of that function? If you are using this start with function, you will get an outcome as true or false. Because of that, the data type of that function must be Boolean. And second one is random function is a mathematical function. All mathematical functions should be return a double data type. Because of that, the random functions return data type is double. Okay, understood all of you? When you are writing this one, use the correct cases of that letters. Okay, you should study this all data types of the functions. Question C. If the value of basic equal to 1500, what will be the value of tax after the following is executed? The question, tax is equal to basic greater than 1200, then 200, else 100. This question is an application of ternary operator. I think you are familiar with the ternary operator. How can you solve this one? See, already they had given the value of basic here. Then you can apply the value of basic there, 1500. Then you will get like this, 1500 greater than 1200. That is a true condition. Then you will get the value of that true outcome. That means you will get the value as 200. If the condition is false, you will get the outcome as 100. But here the condition is true. Then you will get the value after the question mark symbol. Okay, question mark symbol is used to identify the true value and colon symbol is used to identify the false value. Then here the condition is true. Because of that you will get a true outcome. What is the true outcome here? 200. Then you will get the answer as 200. Okay. Question D. Give the output of the following code and mention how many times it will execute. Int I. For I is equal to 5, I greater than or equal to 1, I minus minus. Within bracket, if I mod 2 equal to 1, continue system.out.print I plus a space with a double inverted comma. Close the bracket. That is the question. Okay. How can you solve this question? For all the examination, this type question will come. And how can you solve this one? First you find out how many times it will execute. The simplest way, how can you find out? First you find the first value. Here first value is 5. And what's the limit? Greater than or equal to 1. That means 5 to 1. Because the interval is 1. Minus minus. Here decrement is going on. Okay. Then you can count 5, 4. Interval is 1. 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. That like that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You will get a 5 times. The loop will execute as 5 times. Okay. Like this way you can count the value. How many times it will execute. Okay. First you find out the starting value. Then the limit. Then what's the interval. Using that interval you can count the value. Okay. Then you will get a 5. Then what will be the output? See. Here I mod 2. You can apply the value of I here. What's the value of I here? 5. First time 5. 5 mod 2. You will get a 1 because that is an odd number. If you give the mod operator, if you are operate with a mod symbol, you will get the remainder. 5 mod 2, you will get a 1 and it will continue. That means if you get the true condition, true answer, it will continue. It will go to next, take the next value 4. 4 mod 2 equal to 0. Then it will print the value here. If the condition is wrong, it will print the value. Then you will get a first 4. Okay, again it will take a 3. 3 mod 2. Again you will get a 1. Then it will continue. Next time 2. 2 mod 2 you will get a 0. Then it will print the value 2. 4 space 2. Okay. Again it will take 1. 1 mod 2 is also 1. Okay. Then it will continue. But the limit is over. Then it will stop it will terminate the loop. Like that way this loop will work. Okay, I think you understood the meaning. Then take care of this type problem. First you count the timing. First you count how many times it will take. After that try to find out the values. You apply all the values here and follow the instructions. Then you will get the correct output. Okay. Question E. State the difference between call by value and call by reference. This question from functions chapter, we know that. What's the difference between call by value and call by reference? We all know that. Call by value is used with or works with the primitive data types or primitive data types, and call by reference always works with the user defined data types. Okay. Then what's the main difference? We can see. Look at the table. First point, the actual parameter is copied to the formal parameter in such a way that any change made in the formal parameter does not affect the actual parameter. In the case of call by value, always it copies the value to the formal parameter. Because of that, it does not affect the value of that actual parameter. Okay. But in the case of call by reference, it always gives the reference. Because of that, it will affect the formal parameter, actual parameter. The actual parameter is just referred by the formal parameter. Both use the same memory address in such a way that any change made in the formal parameter is reflected onto the actual parameter. Hence, the actual parameter also changes accordingly. Understood all of you? And second point, all primitive data type are passed to the method by the using pass by value. Okay, and we can use the here all primitive data types, int, float, double, like that, 8 primitive data types you can use. But in the case of call by reference, all non-primitive data type are passed to the function by using pass by reference system, array object, like that. Okay, you just remember that. In the case of call by value, actual parameter is just copied to the formal parameter. But in the case of call by reference, actual parameter is referred to the formal parameter. Okay, and call by, in the case of call by value, we are using primitive. In the case of call by reference, we are using non-primitive data types. These are the main difference between call by value and call by reference. Okay, I think you understood the meaning. You just try to study the answer. Okay. Question F. Give the output of the following. mat.sqrt within bracket mat.max of 9,16. Then how can you solve this one? First we will find out the value of inner function. What is the inner function? mat.max of 9,16. Max function, we know that max function is used to find the maximum value. Okay. Then which one is greater here? 9 or 16? We know 16 is greater. Then what's the answer? 16. Then you can apply the value there. mat.sqrt of 16. Then sqrt function is used to find the square root of a value. Okay, that means the square root of 16 is 4. Here we will get the output as 4.0. Okay. Question G. Write the output for the following. String S1 equal to phonics and string S2 is equal to island. First question. System.out.println S1.substring of 0.concat S2 dot substring of 2. Second question, system.out.println S2 uppercase. Okay, here we can see two strings. What are they? S1 is equal to phonics and S2 is equal to island. Okay, I displayed two tables here. For first one for phonics and second one for island. We can see the index number of these strings also. Using this index number, we can easily find out the answer. Okay, when you get like this question, if you write the table like this, first you can easily find out the answer. Okay, just listen to the question. S1 dot substring of 0 dot concat of S2 dot substring of 2. Find out the inner function first. S2 dot substring of 2. From the position number 2, you can cut the value of S2. That means land. You will get a land. LAND. 2, 3, 4, 5. You will get. After that, you have to find out the value S1 dot substring of 0. That means you will get a phonics from 0 to last. Phonics. Okay. And here one more function is there. Concat function. First you will get a phonics. Then second you will get a land. Concat is used to join two strings. Then finally you will get a phonics land if you are using that function. Then first answer is phonics land. And second one, S2 dot to uppercase. That means to uppercase function. What's the use of to uppercase function? To uppercase function is used to capitalize the given string. That means island will be converted into capital. Okay. The second answer, island in capital. Just listen. String related videos to my channel. If you subscribe my channel, if you are not subscribed to my channel, you must subscribe this one, because then only you will get the videos related to string functions. If you study that one, you can easily solve like these problems. Okay, you should subscribe my channel. Okay. Okay, question H. Evaluate the following expression if the value of x equal to 2, y equal to 3 and z is equal to 1. V equal to x plus minus z plus y plus y. How can you solve this type of problem? First we will apply the values. Here they are asking about they applied unary operators. Okay, how can you solve this one? First we will apply the values. X equal to 2. Instead of minus z, here the value of z they had given as 1. But if you operate minus z, you will get value as 0. 1 minus 1, you will get 0. Then 2 plus 0 plus y plus. Here the value of y is equal to 3. and y plus plus means that is a post increment type operation. Because of that, you will get the remain the value of y is 3. But in the next operation, it will be incremented. That means for the next y, the value is as 4. 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. Then I apply the values 2 plus 0 plus 3 plus 4. Totally, we will get 9 as a answer. Okay. Okay, question I. String array X equal to artificial intelligence, EOT, machine language and big data. There are 4 elements. Give the output of the following statements. This is first one, system.out.println x of 3. Second one, system.out.println x dot length. This is a string array and we know that. We can see this one. Here we have 4 elements. Okay, and which data you will get if you are giving x of 3? See, we can count. We will start the count from 0. In the case of an array, the index number starts from 0. Okay, artificial intelligence index number is 0. IoT index number is 1, machine language index number is 2, and big data index number is 3. Because of that, the answer is big data. X of 3, you will get an answer as big data. Okay. Next question, x dot length. Find the length of the array. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many elements are there? 4 elements. Then the answer is 4. Length function is used to find the length of the array. Here, there is no bracket in the length array. Okay, array length. We are using that string length. We should use the bracket. Just remember that one. And length counting starts from 1 and others counting starts from 0. Okay, just listen to that one. Okay, then you can easily find the answer. Okay. Last question. What's meant by a package? Give an example. Okay. Here they are asking about the. This question they are asking about the packages. Definition of packages with the help of an example. Explain with the help of an example. What's answer? A package is a group of related classes, interfaces, and sub-packages. We all are familiar with the packages. Always we are using packages in the program. Okay. What are the examples? Which packages we are using? Java.io and java.util, and some other packages are java.awt, java.lang package also we can use. Okay, that are the packages. And here you should take care about the cases of the letters. When you are writing java.io, you should use the small letters. Java.util also. Okay, and the related questions are which keyword is used to insert a package into the program? Which keyword? Import keyword. Okay, import. Like that questions always comes in for the examination. Okay, and sometimes they are asking like this, buffer data class in dash package. Which package? Java.io package. And scanner class in java.util package. And which one is the default package? Java.lang package. Like that questions always comes. Okay, you just always one question from this part. You will get one question from all the year. You will get one question from this part. This is an important thing. 3 types questions will come. What's the definition? What are the examples? And which keyword is used? And which classes are including these packages? Like that question will come. Okay, if you study this one, you can answer in the examination paper also. Okay, this year examination paper also. Okay. And best wishes for the exam students. In my next video, I will continue with the section B. If you are not subscribed my channel, you should subscribe my channel. Then only you will get the next video. Okay. And if you like this one, you should share this video to the students, because it's a great helpful for the students. And you can just share to others also. Okay. Then best wishes. Prepare the exam well. Okay, thank you. Here I displayed all the questions, only the questions. If you want to write it, the answer of this question, or solve the answers of this question, you can use this part. Okay, all the questions I displayed here. This is also a great help for you. Okay. Just write and solve it. Okay, if you want any help you can just listen to the previous portion and try to study well. Okay.